Okay.
Okay. If I break it, you can't get mad.
Good morning, South Carolina. This is Tammy Newman with your South Carolina High School League, and we are here for our Class A, 2A, and 3A softball finalists. Team representatives are on hand, but before we meet our special guest, we have a few remarks from Commissioner Dr. Jerome Singleton.
Thank you, Ms. Newman. Good morning, and congratulations on a great season. You know, as our ambassadors, we want you to represent us to the best ability that you possibly can. So we ask that you continue to be the best student athlete that you can be, both in your actions, but also in your attitude. I hope you have a great season, had a great season. Please enjoy this press conference and have a great championship game. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Singleton. And before we do meet our special guests, we'd just like to say a huge hearty thank you to our partners at Wilson and Game Changer. We are very proud to use the products from Wilson Sporting Goods. The Wilson A1010 Pro is the official ball for the South Carolina High School League. Game Changer is the official scorekeeping, team management, and video clipping partner of the South Carolina High School League. They provide easy-to-use scorekeeping tools, instant stats, spray charts, and pitch counts right at your fingertips. Also player profiles and automatic hit clips. So never miss a moment with Game Changer. And now for the moment we've waited for, we're meeting our representatives from each of our finalist teams in Class A, 2A, and 3A. Starting us off, we have Class A, Louisville High versus Bamberg Earhart. And with us, we have Coach Jerry Thomas from Louisville. And he has brought along seniors Savannah Rollins and Mallory Martin. And from Bamberg Earhart, we have Coach Robert Williams. And joining him, seniors Reagan Johnson and Wallace Rutland. Thank you, welcome. And Class 2A, that competition will be between Gray Collegiate versus Latta. And Gray Collegiate is represented by Coach Doug Fry and senior Brooke Tranum and junior Taylor Corley. And from Latta High School, we have Coach Jenny Melton. And with Coach Melton, we have senior Jayla Jackson and junior Elizabeth Brown. And our Class 3 representatives from Broome High School and Earhart High School. Broome, we have Coach Rebecca Cooper. And with her, seniors Carly Green and Bella Angeli. And from Earhart High School, Coach Tony Mills. And with him, Carly Sarvis, a senior, and Ann Shelley, also a senior. Good morning, everyone. So happy to see you all. Glad that I think you're just as excited as South Carolina is to get the series moving along and to hear more about it. We want to hear from you, the participants and our coaches. You've had a very exciting season. So we're going to give some questions to our coaches first and then move on to our student athletes. So we will start with Coach Thomas. Can you share with us your senior record? Your season record.
23-8 on the season.
All right, thank you. Also, it seems that, you've had some recent opponents that have given you you've had some hard fought battles getting here, but you walked away with the win, which is what counts. Can you tell us, what did you decide to work on most heading into the last few games?
just trying to stay consistent with our game, and then and just trying to build that family atmosphere around with the girls so they can enjoy this experience. Playoffs.
All right, thank you. And let's see, from Bamberg, Coach Williams, can you share with us your season record?
We're 23-6.
All right, thank you. And think about this entire season, before going into it and throughout the season. Share with us what's something that you lost sleep over that kept you up at night.
Well, we got 7 seniors, and I think a lot of people expected a lot out of us, and sometimes some pressure is put on these kids, for that reason, and we're just trying to stay relaxed and, tell them just to play, and whatever happens, it's going to happen.
Okay. And moving on to our Class 2A representative, Coach Fry from Gray Collegiate. Can you share with us your season record?
26-4.
All right, thank you. Oh, I think we have a little interference somewhere. Okay. Gray Collegiate has had several different teams in championships this season. What has that? What effect has that had on you as a coach here at the end of the school year? You've watched other teams make it to finals. Tell us about that, how that's inspired your coaching this season and what you hope to gain from their success.
Well, we thought we'd have a pretty good year. We got 12 back from last year and we made it to the finals. We got good leadership and we worked hard since August. So they've done everything we've asked and they bought into our system, and we playing pretty good ball right now.
All right, thank you. And Coach Melton from Latta, can you share with us your season record?
26-2.
26-2. Okay. Can you share with us what do you attribute this year's team success to?
They just play together. They're playing as one. They're finding ways just to get on base, just to do the best they can. They're very determined. They're not letting anything stop them. We played through the rain. We played through just about anything, and these girls are very strong. And they're wanting it. They're pushing themselves to the very end. I'm very proud of them.
All right, thank you. And Class 3A from Broome High School, Coach Cooper, can you share with us your season record?
25-2.
Okay. What do you feel is your team's, this year's team's most valuable strengths?
I would say our seniors. We have 6. They've been with our program, for a long time. They've worked really hard. I would say that that's a big strength. They've really been leaders and led us to this point.
Okay. Can you give us a comparison of this year's team versus last year's team?
Well, we have a lot of the same girls back from last year. I would just say we're more refined for sure. We're definitely more refined, which has gotten us here. Okay,
great. Thank you. And Coach Mills from Aner, can you share with us your season record?
We're 22-3.
Okay. And what was your major takeaway from last year's season that you put into effect this year that you think, was one of the key elements that you made it this far?
I think one of the things that we've probably focused on a little bit more this year was probably getting the team away from the field, bonding, working on some team chemistry. You can practice, you can do all the drills you want to do, but your team has to get along, and you have to have that certain type of chemistry there. The kids have to trust each other, have to trust their coaches. So we kind of did some fun things away from the field this year, and I think we did a much better job of bonding this year. Okay,
great. Well, you just touched on a topic that I'm going to ask one of our student athletes. I will I'm going to actually share this with, let's see, we're going to throw it to Savannah from Louisville. You just heard his answer about, how important team bonding is. Can you share with us anything that you feel that Louisville, that the team this year has done to be more of a bonded, family, closer team?
Definitely the bus rides, like we all sit together, we all like are in one pack, we all try to talk, we try not to have little cliques on the team. Like we try to all bond together so that when we do play, we play as one on the field.
Okay, thank you. And Reagan, Coach Williams has certainly, been an influence on the team and yourself this season. Can you tell us what it is that the life lesson or advice that Coach has shared with you this year that you think you'll carry on after graduation?
Well, he always tells us to go out there and play our hardest. I feel like that's something you should do in everything, to go and try your hardest in everything that you do. So I feel like that's very important for us to carry on into the workforce and wherever we're going in life.
All right. And can you share with us, what are your plans after graduation?
I plan on going to Charleston Southern and to major in biology to become a dentist.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Savannah, I'm going to hop back to you real quick and you can tell us what you're planning on doing after graduation.
I plan on attending USC Sumter in the fall to pursue volleyball and major in psychology.
All right, thank you. Okay, moving forward, Brooke from Gray Collegiate. Brooke, what is your most memorable moment on or off the field this year?
I think my most memorable moment was whenever we won district. I've been here for 4 years. It's the first time we've made it this far. We've come really close a few times, but just knowing that was probably the biggest hurdle we had to face in order to get to state, not winning upper state or anything like that, but I knew if we could make it past district that we would be able to go a lot further.
All right. And what are your plans after graduation?
After graduating, I will be going to College of Charleston to play softball and major in environmental geoscience, and I hope to become a sustainable farmer.
Oh, yay, that's very interesting. Okay, thank you. And Jayla, can you share with us? Oh, wow. Jayla, can you share with us the most important message that Coach has shared with you and the team this year?
I think our coaches really just wanted us to get on base more, so that she always told us that as long as we get on, she'll move us around. So I think that's more of what our team really focused on, was just taking one base at a time.
Okay, thank you, Jayla. And what are your plans after graduation?
I'm attending Newberry College to play softball and major in nursing to be a CRNA.
All right, thank you. And moving forward with Broome, Carly, what do you like most? What will you miss the most about this year's team once you graduate?
I'll miss the friendships with all the girls and just the bond we have together.
And what are your plans after graduation?
I plan on going to NGU to play softball, and I'm going to major in accounting.
Okay, thank you. And Carly from Aner, if you could I need you to think about the entire season, the ups, the downs, and what have you. If there was one thing that you could do over, what would that be?
I don't think I would do anything over because it all led to us being here at the moment.
And what are your plans after graduation?
I plan to attend Charleston Southern University and major in kinesiology.
All right, thank you. Let's see, we're gonna swing back around and just get some more coaches' questions in. And we'll go to Coach Thomas. Can you give us your thoughts on this year's team versus previous teams?
Well, this year's team, just like everybody else, coming back out of COVID, last 20. And so we lost a lot of time to gain some experience. This is a young group I have right now with only having 2 seniors leadership. last year, I think helped prepare this year. As far as comparing teams, it's hard to compare previous years because we really haven't had a lot since COVID. But as far as work ethic, these girls are right along with our 2018 team as far as putting in work, trying to prepare for this moment.
And you mentioned you have just 2 seniors.
Right.
And what have you witnessed them do to help the team? You know, you obviously, you know, the bond is there. You made it this far. You're in state finals. So what did these 2 seniors do to help you as a coach?
They've really stepped up as leadership, and that's one of the things we lost from previous years. We haven't had that leadership since COVID, but they've really stepped up. I asked them to take on that role, and over the last 2 years, they really have transitioned to great leaders. Without them pushing the team, I'm not sure exactly where we'd be at right now without their leadership. So that's been a big plus.
All right, thank you so much. And Coach Williams from Bamberg, how does it feel this year? I know you've had, you know, pretty successful career as a coach, but there at Bamberg, how does this year's final appearance compare to past seasons that you've been coaching?
This is the first year, for our softball program. Other sports have done it. Like I said, we got 7 seniors, so this was a year that a lot of people, thought we had a chance, and it's just, the girls have done everything we've asked. They've worked hard, and it's been a pretty good ride.
And you mentioned you had 7 seniors, and they're, going to be gone in a very short while. What are your plans on how do you go about as a coach rebuilding a team that's lost, its top layer of leadership?
I mean, we've got some juniors who are pretty good, and our JV program has been solid. So they just got to step up, and we'll be all right.
All right, thank you. And let's see, Coach Fry, with the team that you have this year, I believe you mentioned that you have 12 seniors. And so I'm guessing that you've pretty much watched them grow up, right? What are you going to miss most about those seniors?
We have 6 seniors.
Oh, okay. Well, what are you going to miss about those 6 seniors?
Leadership. They set the role. They get out there and work hard. We start practice at 3:30. They get there at 2:30 and start working. Like the coach said, we don't have cliques. We're together. We work hard. They like each other. When you're dealing with girls, sometimes that's hard to have, but they really like each other and get along. And we really bonded very well this year.
Okay, thank you so much. And Coach Melton, with someone said they had 12. Was it Latta?
We only have 2.
I wrote down 12. I guess I'm hearing. But Coach Melton, if there was one thing this season that you could repeat, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something negative, but if there was something about this season that you could do over again, what would that be?
I'm really not sure there's anything different I would do this year. This year was my first full year as a coach. With COVID, and then last year I was out for a while on maternity leave. But this year was my first full year. So I don't know if there's anything different I would do. We played our hearts out. We played people in different positions just to try to get a feel of, who could play where, and if we had to move somebody, or we had one of our girls was battling at the beginning of the year with kidney stones. We weren't sure if she was going to be here for the full season, and it was just kind of back and forth with just little things like that. So it was important for me this year to make sure I moved children or moved students around and make sure they were comfortable at different positions and were ready to play in those positions at whatever time came up.
All right, thank you. And Coach Cooper, as you listen to Coach Melton mention the C word, and I'm going to warn you all, it was a bad word. In 2020, after losing that season due to COVID, and then coming back and, kind of like basically starting over last year. Can you tell us, Coach Cooper, compared from last year, basically, kind of like rebuilding or building a team compared to this year? What's the difference that you've seen in the student athletes?
Well, luckily for us, several of our girls, continue to do things that they could do on their own. But like I'd said earlier, we've had our girls, doing things together since 7th grade, so I didn't feel like we really started over. I just felt like, we did take a couple steps back, but then we were able to build upon, what we had before and get to this point. So it's been great. And luckily we're in a, quote unquote, regular year. So
Yeah.
that's been awesome. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. And Coach Mills from Aner, can you tell us what you think that you're going to have to work on or that you have worked on all season, but what it is your team is going to have to do to win this series?
But the one thing we're going to have to do is be very disciplined at the plate. We have to understand where the strike zone is. We have to make sure that we're not chasing pitches. And that's probably when we lost a few weeks ago. We had one of those nights where we seemed to kind of swing at everything. So give our opponent credit. They beat us that night, but we didn't make good decisions at the plate. And that's something that we've really focused on, and something that over the playoffs for the last couple of weeks, I think that we have really improved upon. And and if we're going to win this series, we're going to have to continue to do that this week.
All right, thank you. And Ann, can you tell us from Aner, can you share with us what opponent has surprised you the most?
The opponent that has surprised me the most this year would probably be Loris, because when we came into region, I mean, we know we have a tough region, and we expected it from Dillon. We played Dillon in lower state last year, but I think we just kind of overlooked Loris until they put their foot on the gas and showed us what they could do.
All right, thank you. I like that saying. And Bella, did you personally think, and Bella is representing Broome, did you personally think that Broome, that you would be here where you are at the start of the season? Or at what point did you think we're going to make it to state? I know this team can do it.
I think we knew at the beginning of the season, this has been our goal for the past 4 years, and doing it our senior year has been, it just makes it even better.
Okay, and I'm going to circle back to Ann. Ann, what are your plans after graduation?
After graduation, I plan to attend Horry Georgetown Technical College and study diagnostic medical sonography.
Okay, thank you. And Bella, what are your plans after graduation?
I'm attending Lander to play softball, and I'm going to major in psychology.
All right, great. And Elizabeth from Latta, obviously the coach sees you as a team leader this year. You're representing the team. As a team leader, what have you done more and even better this year to help the team bond?
I just think that we've all, and including myself this year, stepped up and helping each other stay up whenever we make a mistake or whenever we strike out. It's important to keep the team up and remind them that it's okay. We just got to brush it off and move on to the next game.
Okay, and what are your plans after graduation?
As a junior, I'm still undecided about where I would like to go to college, but I do plan to further my education after high school.
All right, great. Okay, and Taylor from Gray, when was the first time you picked up a softball? Excuse me, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I was probably about 6 years old when I first picked up softball.
How important has softball been to you throughout your life and definitely during your high school career? What has that meant to you?
I mean, it's definitely brought a bunch of friendships and life lessons. I've learned just so much that I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life, I think.
And you mentioned take with you. What are your plans after graduation?
I'm going to USC Beaufort to play softball, and I'm going to major in marine biology.
Okay, great. You're a year ahead of yourself. All right. And Wallace from Bamberg. I want you to think about Bamberg's fans, the student body, the community. What message do you have for them?
We're just really thankful for them coming out, and especially during playoffs, a bunch of people have showed up, and we just love it. It gives us chills watching everyone out in the stands and tailgating.
Okay, and what are your plans after graduation?
I plan to go to Clemson University and major in psychology.
Okay, great. And Mallory, what is the atmosphere been like this week at Louisville with so much going on with both softball and baseball?
It was a little bit hectic there for just a minute. I think we were all kind of not nervous, but excited in a sense. And then baseball, unfortunately, lost, but they have shown up for us. I know they've all been posting about our game times and where we're playing at. And anytime you see it, they're like, what's the game plan? What are we doing? When's the game? What time do we need to be there? So it's just nice to know that they're going to show up for us.
Right. And I like that you mentioned that. That's something that I've been the high school league, we encourage that season supports season. And that means, our fall sport athletes, come out, support spring sport, but also in the spring sports, if your season's done or whatever, if there's still something going on, keep supporting your classmates and other sports. And can you share with us what your plans are after graduation?
I'm going to attend St. Andrews University to further my softball career and study elementary education.
All right, thank you. And before we close, I'm going to have each of our coaches, I want you to just give yourself a second to think about the opponent you're facing, and just give us your opinion and just a review, a scouting report per se for your opponent. We're going to start with Coach Thomas from Louisville. Give us your thoughts on Bamberg Earhart.
The biggest thing Bamberg, I know, is I got 7 seniors they're relying on as leadership. That's a huge plus. I know Coach Williams, I had the opportunity to coach them in All-Stars back in 2016. So I know he has a good program. But the biggest thing right now is I don't know a lot of ways from them, but I do know he has a big class seniors. I know he has a solid team. We see each other every year down at the beach, playing in spring tournament down there. Good opportunity to play him and get to coach against him together.
All right, thank you. And Coach Williams, can you share with us your thoughts on Louisville?
Yes, ma'am. Like Jerry said, we don't know a lot about them as far as this year's team, but they always have a very competitive team. They won the state championship, I think, in either 18 or 19. He's always got, great players. Like I said, we see each other at the beach every year, and so it's going to be good to finally compete against each other.
All right, thank you. And Coach Fry from Gray, can you share with us your thoughts on Latta?
They got a great program. We played them 3 years ago and they whooped us pretty good. They got tradition there. Their fans come out, they love it. I think it's going to be a great series. Look forward to playing them.
All right. Coach Melton, you heard those words. Can you share with us what you think you're up against with Gray?
Well, they do have a lot of seniors. That's a lot of leadership on a team. I'm sure they're putting in lots of time, lots of practice, and they're pretty solid. We're ready for a competition, and we're going to show up.
All right, thank you. And Coach Cooper from Broome, can you share with us your thoughts on Ainer?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I know they're going to be a very tough opponent for us, which is the way it should be in a state championship series. I know they have, some good pitchers and great hitting. So we're looking forward to it and we're ready.
All right. Thank you, Coach Cooper. And Coach Mills, what do you think you're up against with Broome?
It's going to be a very difficult ball game. Broome has a great program. Miss Green has had a lot of success on the mound this year. She strikes out 12, 15, 18 batters a game. The other young lady with her right now makes no errors at shortstop, and they both have very, very strong bats. So we're looking for a big crowd to show up tonight, and we're looking for a great ball game.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of our attendees. And thank you for our viewers and the fans around South Carolina. Before we close, we'd just like to invite everyone out to the games around the state. These young ladies need your support, so make sure that you do. Visit schsl.org for information on the softball series headed your way. And also, if you're wanting to get that perfect softball merchandise, make sure you check out Northwest Ink Designs. You can get all your merchandise there, the apparel for championship wear, and that information is on our website as well. And again, thank you all for joining us. I ask that our viewers stay tuned. In just about 30 minutes, you will hear from our class 4A and 5A team reps as we host those classifications press conference as well. So until then, we ask that you have a great day.